blind man cross the road, trying to make the other side. Ever seen a young girl growing old, trying to make herself a bride? So what becomes of you, my love?
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Pray that he's still out there, somewhere.
Okay, well, a wonderful, warm welcome to each and every one of you here. Thank you for joining us today. So amazed and gobsmacked to see some of you having to wake up as early as 7 o'clock or earlier, like Reese, who got up very early, got the time wrong to be here, and he's returned. It's just so great to see you. Great to see people coming in all the time. John and Helen, wonderful to see you. The great Mr. Rick Billick, thank you. We know how hard it is for you to join us, so we really just bless you. It's such a blessing to see it. We know the story behind all of you, and it just, you know, blesses us and it honors us that we can be community, that we can serve together. You're so special to us. As I say all the time, when we get together and we do these things month to month, we visualize you, we listen to Yah, we listen to the Ruach to see what he says and how we must put this word together, how we must search and how we pray. And that's how we pray for you individually. That's how we pray for you corporately as well. You know, and that's why it is by Yah's hand that he brings a whole jigsaw and knits us together for these prophetic times, that you are all called and that we are knitted together, and we have a sincere love for you, you know, a sincere care for you, all knitted in Yah's breath, in the Ruach's breath, and in the word. And that's what's really important. I have two things to say. One of them is, especially for the UK people, UK, this would affect Germany, this would affect Netherlands. Dr. Pigeon is coming back in September. We're going back to Lutterworth to have a 2-day conference. It's going to be more of a theme of the Feast of Trumpets. It's definitely going to be a time of feasting together and celebrating that feast, as well as teaching, a time of worship. So it's going to be more of that corporate focus, but he's definitely coming back. Netherlands, Germany, if you're able, that would be wonderful for you to join in the UK. There is a possibility, it's a 50% chance right now, that whilst in the United Kingdom, they may be going to the Netherlands. So obviously, Lynn, that would work out so well for you. And hopefully, like Vicabod, you might be able to travel somewhere closer, if not to the UK. But we've got those European families that could join. So that's going to be for September. So from now onwards, please just watch out for notifications on our website, on my Facebook page, and YouTube notifications on the community for that. And I will set up a Telegram group specifically for the September event. Also, and this is really important, this one is for all of you, it's this month. We are going to be having Mark Steele, who all of you know, 5G expert. He's going to be coming and doing a specific online conference with Dr. Carrie Madej, who's in the United Kingdom. But for safety reasons, I felt we had to protect our community and we couldn't get together. Shane and I felt it not to get together in person, but to do it online, have it where you have to subscribe to the event. It's free, but you just have to subscribe with your email so we know who is attending in advance. And basically what they're going to do is speak about what's happening in the UK as far as chemtrails are concerned, as far as radiation is concerned, the dangers of that, things that we cannot speak publicly on television, to do with what is happening in our country, the United Kingdom, Europe, and America. So that's going to be really, really important. Carrie is going to be talking from the point of the snake bite and the effects that it will have had family members. She wants it to be an opportunity to pray and advise. So it's going to be a real specific time where you can send in your questions in advance, so we have them all out there, and they can cater this conference to the questions that you require to know and want to do. And more than anything else, there will be Torah involved in that, because you have to see the biblical perspective of where and how this affects everything that we're in. So it's not just bringing to you a conference of, just the facts. It has the scriptural undertone to it as well. And I'm just waiting now to hear from Kerry when exactly she can do that. It should be around the 3rd Friday or Saturday of June. But I'll keep you all informed about that. That's going to be quite critical and an important one, because I'm sure a lot of people want to be involved, and people of that caliber like Celeste Holmes and so on will be involved as well. But obviously, because of the recent passing of Dr. Bashir, it's best to do this all online rather than in person. And that means that you all here can be involved also. So, that's the announcements out of the way. Welcome everybody as you've joined, as you're coming in. Shane, do you want me to speak first, or will you go straight into the word? Yeah. Unmute, Shane.
It keeps on bouncing back from mute to unmute. Now you can do
Okay.
5-10 minutes. Just want to say, hey, big hi to John H from London there, and also Dennis on page 2. I just saw. Nice to see you, Dennis and John H.
Oh, fantastic. It's great to see. Angela, lovely to see you here. Lily, wonderful to see you also.
Yeah, and Lisa
Such
again.
precious guys. Yeah.
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, Dennis, wonderful to have you here. The Lord of Hosts, I'm not sure who that is. Sandra, Mark, Joe, Laura Lee, is all absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
And Robbie, that's my pet bird's name, isn't it, Robbie? Yeah?
Yes.
Hey, Robbie.
Okay, we did a program, when you don't expect, but the Ruach just turns up. That's what happened on Tuesday with Stephen, as we just went into the program and just let him lead. I just felt it was very important, because it's one of those that minister to people in so many different ways that it's important to again focus on, because we need to stand up, we need to dress ourselves in this and become strong, and no matter what, gird ourselves with the truth and the protection that we have. And this is about the protection that each and every one of you have in these tribulating times that we find ourselves in these scriptural biblical times that we find ourselves in these prophetic times that we find ourselves in these hard times we find ourselves in. And you don't look at that only from a corporate point of view, you look at that personally in your own situations. I know that there are marriage issues. I know that there are health issues. I know that there are financial issues within this group. I know that there is just devastation and loneliness, and you're at the grip's end. How do I cope? But somehow you cope, because Yah brings you through it. And Yah would not, it sounds something so hard to say, he puts you to such a level that you feel like you're not coping, but he has you in his hand. And this is where you stand, and you stand still until you see his hand at work, because it's despite your flesh, it's despite you. I just want to go back and look at a few verses in Enoch, and I'm speaking specifically about the unrighteous versus the righteous. And let me just let Mary in. Welcome, Mary, as you come in, Mary Fields and her husband. This is about divine protection. As I look on this room and I see you all, we're walking as part of those who are the righteous. So we're walking with this protection as that righteous hand is upon us. Our Yah consumes and goes before us, compared to the suffering of the unrighteous and those that we stand in the gap, so that we may be a voice to them at this time, while there is time to be heard. For those of you who have your Sefer or and you've got the other extra biblical books, if you go to Enoch, chapter 6, I'm reading from verses 4 to 12. I'd be really quick because I want to give the time to Shane. It starts off at verse 4. You endure not patiently, nor fulfill the commandments of Yahuah. but you transgress and you culminate greatness, and malignant are the words in your polluted mouths against his majesty. Not only is that a mouthful to hear and to read, but can you see the rebuke? Can you see the judgment from Yah in here? It's humbling, it scares you, and it just shows you where we are. The meaning of transgression, we all know that. We understand in terms of Israel how they transgress time and time and time again against Yahuah. And that same is constant for us today. We see this in our lives all around us, globally, in our context, in our nations, in our situations, turning away from righteousness to unrighteousness, violating Yah's trust, violating and breaking his covenant with them. This is the days of Noah that we live in now. Let me just highlight to you a couple of words. So culminate, that means accuse, falsely, maliciously, or propagate evil. Now, I'm not just talking in a tribulation text, because I know so many of you this month have gone through accusation. You have gone through maliciousness. You have had evil propagated against you. You have had ever ultimatums given to you. Do not despise where you are. Know that when it's above your capability, that Yah is in control. And those people that come to test you, Yah allows for you to be tested. One, so that you go back to him for the solution and for the hand, but two, so that you are strengthened like flint, that nothing can break you down. Nothing at all can break you in this time. Another word that I want to bring to you, malignant. That's talking about the evil nature, the malevolency that you go through corporately, what we're seeing happening around us in the world, nation by nation and globally, but personally in your situations, I'm acknowledging that also. The cruelty that you're being put through, the rancousness that you are being subjected to, both what you see and hear in the world and around you and in your own circumstances. But yet, Yah and the Ruach say, stand strong and stand still in your field if you can do nothing else, and just cry out even with a murmur unto me, and the Ruach will translate that to the Father on the right hand side, who intercedes by Yahusha for you to bring that answer and that breakthrough, because that is how he serves and prays into your situation. This pollution that we read about, polluted mouths against his majesty, that means defilement and impropriety, the worst that you can do against Yah. 2 Peter 2 verse 20 says, take away your imperfect offerings, those that are brought with a wrong motive. Israel did it then, we do it now. We dress ourselves up as righteous. Let me tell you, and I want to say this as a prophetic word to so many of you today, that there are people who have come against you, and they are believers, but if they are not righteous, their prayers are not effectual. That's why it says the prayers of a righteous are effectual. So there is your God, there is your word for those who have had to stand strong in these last few months through the torments, through the accusations, through the ultimatums. It will come to naught, it will wither away, because it is not coming through a righteous hand, a righteous heart, and a righteous mouth. So stand strong on that, very, very strongly. Heather, Rick, oh goodness, I just look around. Ichabod, so many of you here. Pamela, this is for you all. This is for me, this is for Shane. We have to stand strong on it. You know, for after, it carries on in Enoch, if after they escape the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of Adonai, that's the knowledge that all of us have here. We have the knowledge of Adonai and Savior Yahusha HaMashiach, that they again entangled themselves, but we overcame. That's our secret. But the latter end is worse for those who do not choose our route. Go back after and see that's for yourself. 2 Peter 2 verse 20, because it's another one of those complicated verses, especially in the Sefer. It's written quite hard. You have to study it a couple of times to understand the English to a situation. But basically, it translates from Amos 5 verse 21. I hate and I despise your feast offerings. I will not smell your solemn assemblies. This is Yahuah saying, I will not smell in your solemn assemblies, although you put these feasts up for me, that ye offer me ascending smoke offerings and your oblations. I will not accept them, neither will I regard them as a peace offering or your fat feasts. So when you're doing things in action, but you're doing it without a righteous heart and motivation, it means nothing to him. Take away from me the noise of your songs, the clang of your tambourines, for I will not hear the melody of your viols. But let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as mighty streams. I speak that let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as mighty streams into each and every one of your lives and your situations right now. Even in your situation for healings and provisions, I speak that we stand together over one another in one accord over that. You've offered me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness for 40 years, which were in vain. You bore them to the tabernacle, not of mine, but to Moloch, and to his image, the star of their Elohim, which you made for yourself. We always have to look at the idols that we put in our life. We might not necessarily be worshipping another God. Elohim is the only one that I will say is that true capacity, but you can make these idols in your life, even from going on the phone too much, social media, or things that take away your concentration as an idol, because they take you away from alignment. And we've got to keep on remembering our alignment to the word, our alignment to Yahuah, Yahusha, and walking in the counsel and accountability of the Ruach. That's how we live presence-led and spirit-minded. And that is the only way in these days that we can overcome the situations that we are in. Then, you know, a couple of other verses that come out from Enoch. You're withered in heart, no peace shall be with you. Well, I've already spoken about the withering and how that affects. Nothing can come against, but those who walk in evil, they will come into withering. They will see that happen. There is your protection. And verse 6 says, therefore your days shall you curse, and the years shall perish. Perpetual excretion shall be multiplied, and you shall not obtain mercy. Again, there's so much loaded in there. You shall not obtain mercy. It's too late. It's saying by that time, perpetual excretion shall be multiplied. This is of the wicked, and you're cursing the days that you are alive. And you're perishing, and you want to perish, but you can't perish in death, but you're having to suffer in life. There is a time, and it is now. And that's why we come together, so that we can support one another in prayer, in fellowship, to where one is falling to make them stronger, but also that we can be a testimony to each other and speak to those who have not yet heard, but need to hear and will be willing to hear. Perpetual, everlasting, that means there's a continualness to this. No mercy, it's too late, I've said that. Isaiah 55 verse 6 says, seek Yahuah while he may be found, call upon him while he is near. Let us never forget that. Let us always make that our heart cry. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the righteous man his thought, and let him return unto El Yahuah, and he will have mercy upon him, and to Elohim, for he will abundantly pardon while there is time. Let's not excuse ourselves of retrospect. Let's always look and see how what we need to do to bring that accountability, that purity in our own lives all the time. Verse 7, in those days shall you reign your peace with the external maledicions of all righteousness, and the sinners shall perpetually excrete you. So despite the taunts from the sinners, from the unrighteous, they're still showing that you shall reside in peace because of the righteousness that you have. There's a certain seal, there's a certain quality of life that you have, which is not of what the wicked have. The elect shall possess light, joy and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. Well, it's not this earth that we've inherited, right? So it is the new earth that we will inherit with this promise. But you unholy, you shall be accursed. Verse 11, then shall wisdom be given to the elect, all whom shall live and not again transgress. by impiety or by pride. Again, this is what we all have to keep guard of, but shall humble themselves, possessing prudence, and shall not repeat transgressions. That's the description of what we have to be living, the standard that we have to be living here today, right now. Humble ourselves from impropriety and pride. Keep away from that and possess prudence and guidance of the word. When you fear Yahuah, you never want to go back into transgression. You never want to go back into sin. You just have a distaste for it. And you fear doing those type of things because you do not want Yahuah to turn his face and to grieve the Holy Spirit, to the Ruach HaKodesh. Verse 12, then shall not you be condemned the whole period of their lives, not die in torment and indignation, but the sum of their days shall be completed, and that they shall not grow old, they shall grow old in peace, while the years of their happiness shall be multiplied with joy and with peace forever, the whole duration of their lives. That's the promise for the righteous. That's the promise for us. That is our pursuit. My point being that I want to emphasize to you what King David, what David, the boy David, a man after Yahuwah's own heart, as he is referred to, said. David said exactly this: my days are written in your book. You know all the days of my life before I even lived one of them. For each and every one of you, Mary, Bob and Michael, Mary and Randy, Ichabod, Lisa, Lynn, the whole list on these few pages here, he has written your name in that book. He knows the days of your life, even from the beginning to the end, that you do not know. This is our divine protection. This was David's divine protection. You are, like David, the apple of his eye, the grape from a cluster, that drop that's mentioned of in Ezra, that beautiful book. This is the believer's divine protection that he chooses upon his own until the end of days. And we need to remember that, especially in the context of what Shane brings to us. All of David's 66 battles, Shane brings this at me because he loves the story of David and something he studies all of our married life so close to his heart, that he had 66 battles. And all of those will complete. Yah knew his days, and Yah knew that he would have divine protection. 66 battles. I can't even imagine doing one. David did 66. This is the reward. This is the reward. Think of that as warfare, how many times he had to stand and fight in the camp of warfare. But this is our reward compared to what the righteous will suffer. Psalms 139. All the days, verse 16, all the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Again, that is for you. It is so important that you understand this. So no matter what you see in your surroundings, what you see taunting you, what you see affecting the nation and the people's lives, there's still a protection. And what we have to do is seek Yah fully in purity and truth, and also commit to walking a righteous life so that our prayers are effectual, not just by words, but by deed and by heart. That's what this is about. So I pray that this encourages you. I speak this prophetically into your lives, that it impregnates and it implants into your spirit and makes a difference, especially as we come into Passover and to Shavuot. And we see the importance of that, the true Torah, the Torah being given to us, that we walk away with the true bread of life, and that we are his testimony and his witness for this time. So I want to bless you with that. We really are precious to us. It's a word cultivated for each and every one of you here. Bless you. Sandra, it's wonderful to see you in here. Thank you for joining us. Shane, I hand over to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess. Yeah. A big hi to Charlie Opara. Yeah. What a mouthful. What a great name that is. Yeah. Charlie Opara. That's a wonderful name there. Yeah. And of course, to
thank you.
That's okay. That's okay. Good to see you,
Hey,
Charlie.
Charlie.
And my good friend Rick B. Rick, hope you're keeping well, mate. Okay, hope you're keeping well. Yeah. Just been speaking to, just before we quickly go into it, guys, just go to Wisdom of Solomon if you want to. If you've got a Sefer there, or maybe even the Apocrypha, whatever you may want to use. If not, just read along. It's up to you guys, right? Wisdom of Solomon is about halfway through. Okay, I was just talking to Robbie from the most beautiful part of the world. Yeah, the Tablelands, way up North Queensland. Robbie, it's an honor for me because you know, my family's from Bundaberg, and I grew up in Burleigh Heads on the Gold Coast. And I moved down to Sydney, so it's, you know, my favourite team's North Queensland Cowboys, and it's you know, it's just wonderful to see someone from way, 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 way. You can't get any more north than the Tablelands virtually, yeah, unless you go to Papua New Guinea, which is not the Caribbean, as we hear Dr. SP say all the time, yeah, just above Australia. Okay, wisdom of Solomon. Yeah, Jesse said one thing. Okay, we're just going to look at exactly what wisdom is, how Christendom diluted and polluted and corrupted, and what wisdom really is. We're going to quickly look at it, and then we're going to look at the appearance of the destroyer, and even the wisdom of Solomon talks about the appearance of the destroyer. We've got to know what's coming upon the face of the earth. So we start off gentle, we start off simple, and we move into, as Jeremiah says, Yahuah, we speak the hard things of Elohim. And that's all you'll get on this once a month, the hard things of Elohim. Okay, Jess said one thing, you know, and Pamela, this is especially for you, the girl, yeah. It's neither male nor female. And the prayer of a righteous man is both powerful and effective. And that's what we stand on. The prayer of a righteous man or woman is both powerful and effective. And we, each one of us, has to have this ruach of wisdom. Wisdom is a ruach. It's his ruach within us. It will not dwell. His ruach of wisdom will not dwell in an unrighteous woman, an unrighteous man who defiles the sanctuary. It will not. That's why these guys, no matter who they are, Einstein, who they are, they have no wisdom. They may call themselves wise. They may have knowledge. They may have earthly authority, secular, I dare not even say the words, but they have no wisdom because it cannot dwell within them. And this is what we must ascertain to get within us. An undefiled sanctuary, an undefiled temple. It's a ruach, it's his ruach HaKodesh dwelling within us. Wisdom of Solomon. We're going to get a few guys to read along with us to make it easier for me, and also because it's just wonderful hearing you guys read. Again, if ever we say, hey, you know, if we say, you know, Rick, can you read this? John Barr, can you read this? And you're not up to it, or you don't want to flick through the pages, you rather just listen like I like to do, then just say no, it's okay. You're not going to offend me. Okay, so whatever we do, okay, Wisdom of Solomon, verse 2, we're going to look at a total of about 6 or 7 verses, and then move into the appearance of the destroyer throughout the scriptures. And again, I'm trying not to justify. Please excuse me for pulling faces, guys. Okay, it's hurting me badly sitting up here, and we'll just grit our teeth and get on with it, like me and Rick B do all the time. Yeah, and Ingeborg does all the time. Yeah, all three of us just sit here and just grit our teeth and get on with it. Yeah,
Heather as well.
Heather, exactly. Yeah. Okay, the prayers of a righteous woman are both powerful and effective. That's what I want, guys. I refuse nothing less. We have to get righteousness, and only the wisdom of the heart of Elohim can do that. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 2 to 8. Verse 2, for he, Yahuah, for he will be found of them that tempt him not, and shows himself unto such as do not distrust him. 3, for froward thoughts separate from Elohim. Froward means headstrong. It means arrogant thoughts. It means I have all the answers. My belief systems are true. No one else's are. Headstrong thoughts, disobedient thoughts. They separate from Elohim and his power. The prayers of a righteous man are both powerful and his power. Here's his power. When it is tried. reproves the unwise. 4, for into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in a body that is subject unto sin. For the Ruach HaKodesh of discipline, what a mouthful. The so-called Holy Spirit of discipline, the Ruach HaKodesh, his breath, his wind, Yahuwah's breath, Yahuwah's wind of discipline. It's strong, it's well-trained, it's equipped, it's disciplined. Like as John Barr talks about, like the Marines, they're disciplined. They're disciplined. It's a shame they're strong-willed. Imagine what you can do if you're disciplined and you have non-froward thoughts. Yeah. For the Ruach HaKodesh of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding and will not abide when unrighteousness comes in. 6, for wisdom is a loving Ruach. It's a loving spirit. It's his loving spirit, his loving Ruach, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. For Elohim is witness of his mind and a true beholder of his heart and a hearer of his tongue. For the Ruach Yahuah fills the world, and that which contains all things has knowledge of the voice of Yahuah, the voice of his breath, his wind, the voice of him. Just, David talked about it beautifully, about, the breath, the wind, the Ruach of Yahuah said to David, don't move. David, you and your men don't move. Don't attack the enemies until you see my sign. And my sign will be my breath, my wind blowing gently across the top of the trees. And that will be my sign that I am with you and that you're on my side. And then and only then shall we go into battle. Only then. Wait for my sign, my wind across the top of the trees. And that's what David and his mighty men were waiting for. They're waiting to see that little rustle in the bushes. Let's go, guys. Let's go. He's with us. We're on the right side. He's with us. Our prayers are both powerful and effective. He's with us. The Ruach Yahuah is with us. Yahuwah is with us. Verse 8, therefore he that speaks unrighteous things cannot be hid. It's a powerful verse there. Neither shall vengeance, when it punishes, pass by him. That's the day of evil. This is not a Christendom cliche. This is not, wisdom, love wisdom of all you. That they just spit to the left and spit to the right of the pews. On the day of evil, vengeance will not pass you by. It will consume you to 7 vials, poured out upon you. If unrighteousness dwells in your tabernacle, if you have not the Ruach Yahuah, the Ruach HaKodesh, the breath of Yahuwah, the spirit of Elohim within you, you cannot be hid. You cannot be hid by Yahuwah if you aren't on the right side of the battle. The right side of the battle. If David and his men went forward too quickly before they saw the wind, the Ruach across the top of the trees, they would have been on the wrong side of the battle. John Barr knows all about that. Waiting for the right command, waiting for the right moment, for the sun to come up behind your shoulders so the sun's blazing in the enemy's face when they're taking aim of you. That's what it's all about. You got to be on the right side of the battle. That's right, Gina, the right side of the battle. You wait, you suffer, you persevere, you become disciplined, you remove the froward thoughts. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to move forward, and you're waiting. You're waiting for a strong right arm of Yahuwah, the strong right arm.
There's Shane. There's Shane.
It is nothing.
Shane. Jessica's husband.
It's
Yes,
all right.
Gina. Yeah. Sorry, Gina, do you want to say something?
She was just telling her husband that.
Okay, it's okay. She's on mute now. Sorry, Gina. I thought, I thought you're scoffing at me and cut me down. And oh, gee, I was just about to go hide in the cupboard just then. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Never, never. Our prayers are both powerful and effective. Goodness. Save Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 1. Okay, John Barr, I'm going to get you to read in about 1 minute, verse 10 to 13. Okay, we're going to look at verse 1 first, and then John Barr is going to read verse 10 to 13. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Elohim, and there shall no torment touch them. No torment, not no trouble, not no strife, not no pain, not no suffering. We're not talking about that. Jeremiah cries out, Yirmiyahu cries out, why is my pain perpetual? You hear me say it over and over again. Why is my pain perpetual and my wound incurable, unable to be healed? Oh, Yah, will you be like a liar to me? Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah, is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Why is my pain perpetual? My wound incurable, unable to be healed. Are you a liar to me, Elohim? No, no, and no. Jeremiah speaking the hard things of Elohim. It takes a well-disciplined woman and man to speak the hard things of Elohim. It takes one that stands against pain and tribulation and trials. And there no torment shall touch them. Verse 1. This is what it's talking about here, guys. I'm just going to read one verse from Revelation 3. The dispensationalist, please forgive me if I ridicule anyone. I don't mean to, okay? I don't mean to. Okay? We all have beliefs about the rapture. Some of us do, some of us don't. Okay? Either here or there or nay. Okay? Right? You heard Jesse talk about David, 66 battles. You heard about Joshua, 31 battles, 1 defeat, 30 victories. He came back for that 1 defeat and gained victory against AI. It's called AI for a reason. Joshua's only defeat against AI. But he came back and he kicked that butt. 31 victories, David 66 victories. We're called to stand and fight and persevere and hang on. And why is my pain hang on? Don't sway. Don't be a double-sided man. Sway to and fro from the waves of the ocean on the boat. Hey, he's going to heal me. No, he's not. Hey, he's going to be with me. No, he's not. Hey, don't be like a man who looks in the mirror, walks away and forgets what he looks like. I forget all the promises of Yah. I forget, oh, Jesus, no, Yah, Jesus, Yah. Don't. Have a belief and stand strong. Everything I believe in, I stand strong. No man, no woman can alter that. It's tested, it's proved, it's researched, it's investigated. Nothing is going to make me sway. And I just wait for the Ruach HaKodesh, the wind upon the top of the trees until he defeats my enemies. Until then, I got to stand against my enemies. We have to stand against our enemies, right, Lisa? We have to stand against our enemies. Randy and Mary will stand against their enemies. Don't sway. Don't falter. Though a righteous man fall 7 times, Yahuwah will pick him up. My favorite part in Rocky 2, get up, you ugly bum, get up and run him over. That's what Mickey said, Rocky's coach in the corner. When Rocky wanted to stay down for the count of 10, Apollo Creed knocks him down and down and down again. 7 times Rocky goes down, down and down and down again. And he wants to give up and walk away and roll over and die and say, it's over. There ain't no God. There ain't no heavyweight champion of the world. There ain't nothing here. But Mickey yells out from the corner, this broken down pug of a man, 82 years old, says, get up, you ugly bum. Run him over, Rock. And that's what we yell out, guys. Get up. Run him over. Run him over. Wait for the Ruach HaKodesh to blow in the treetops. Now is the time you persevere. Now is the time you push forward. You have not defiled my sanctuary. My wisdom, my Ruach, my very presence, my glory is within you. It's going to guide you and lead you. It will go before you and prepare the way. It will be a defender behind you and the backbiting ways of all the witching and the bitching going on. It will be a defender. You won't justify. You won't defend yourself. His breath will. He's a defender. David says he's a defender behind me. He's a defender behind me. You got to know what these things mean. You got to know what these things mean. What I hate most in this world is Christian cliches. Hey, bro, the blood of the Lamb. Well, I hate these things. They water down, they pollute, they corrupt, they confuse, they distort. They just toss away the power of Yahuah, the very wind and breath of Yahuah, his very ruach in my life, in your life. Nothing will make you sway, guys. Nothing will make you sway. When you have his ruach, his wisdom within you, my goodness, John, verse 10 to verse 13, please, bro. Chapter 3, verse 10 to 13.
Let me get there. Or was it another place? Okay, but the wicked shall be punished according to their own imagination, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken Yahuah. For whoso despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Their women are foolish, and their children wicked. Their offspring is cursed. Wherefore, blessed is the barren that is undefiled, which has not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls. And blessed is the eunuch, which with his hands has wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against Elohim. For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith and an inheritance in the temple of Yahuah, more acceptable to his mind. For glorious is the fruit of good labors, and the root of wisdom shall never fall away.
Good work, John. Good work. Look at this verse 12 and the top of verse 13 again, guys. The women are foolish and their children wicked. They're all around us. They're all around us. We can't, none of us here, right? Can we walk the neighborhood without these wicked children? Verse 13, their offspring is cursed. That's it. It doesn't matter how much money they got. It doesn't matter how big their home is. Their offspring is cursed. The unrighteous. Don't envy them. Don't anything them. The battle, your battle, my battle, the battle, David's still there before the giant in Elah and said one thing that crumbled that giant. The battle belongs to Yahuah. The battle belongs to Yahuah. It's not your fight. Your illness, your pain, your heartbreak, your lack of, it's not your fight. It's his fight. The battle belongs to Yahuah. Goliath just crumbled in that valley. That's how you stand. It's your battle. As I said last time, I'm the apple of your eye. David said that. Yahuah, I'm the apple. Yahuah said that to David. You're the apple of my eye. That's how you see yourself. That's how you stand. It doesn't matter if you got your legs don't work, your arms don't work, your back's cranked out. You can't lift your neck. You can't. You can't do one thing for yourself without a carer coming to your help. The battle belongs to Yahuwah. The appearance of the destroyer, stayed wisdom of Solomon. Even the wisdom of Solomon talks about the destroyer. We're going to find out, is he bound? Is he loosed? Will he be loosed? Who is he? What is he? What has he done? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, please, guys. 5 verses. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 20. Yea, the tasting, now listen carefully, it ain't all pretty. Why do we carry on? Why do Rick B and I talk nonstop all the time about standing through the fight? Because we're called to stand through the fight. Or Ezra talks about the narrow path, deep water on your left and fire on your right. And only the righteous can take that path. No one, not the unrighteous, not the wicked, 3 levels. The wicked, the unrighteous, and the righteous. None of them are going to escape this path. But only the righteous will take the narrow path, deep water on the left and fire on the right. That's your life course. You got to know how to stand and fight. And I guarantee you, with a 7-year money-back guarantee, see me at the marriage supper for full refund. You're going to be standing through a fight, guys. Next week ain't going to get better. It ain't going to get worse. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not saying next week in 7 days. Next month ain't going to get any better. Next year ain't going to get. You're going to fight and 66 and 31 fights after fights after fights. You better learn. You better learn to be powerful and effective. You better learn how to get the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh of wisdom inside you, saying, this is your fight, this is my fight, this is not your fight, sorry, this is my fight. Keep your big fat gob shut. This is my fight. The pit that they dug for you, they're gonna fall into it, David. Don't you dare dig a pit for them. It's my fight. The pit that their flesh, their pride, their arrogance, their bitter, their jealousy, their envy, their threatening nature dug for you, they're gonna fall into it. You just got to learn how to keep away from that pit. I will lead them. I will go out before you and lead them into that pit, and I will defend you from behind. Even the wisdom of Solomon talks about the destroyer approaching. You got to be equipped. Every time I say these words, I can't get Christendom out of my head with the trash they teach. Equipped for ministry. Yeah, brother. Who's your covering? Forgive me, guys. I'm not a bitter person. I just like to make fun sometimes. Yeah, I normally do it to Jessie 24/7, but she's not much fun after a while. Yeah, yeah. I try and pick on the 3 kids, but you know they give up quick too. So let me pick on some of you guys. Yeah, come on. You've got to learn how to stand and fight the appearance of the destroyer. It will come, and we shall see it. And there's your money back guarantee in 7 years at the marriage supper, guys. We shall see it. The destroyer. Wisdom of Solomon 18, verse 20. Yea, the tasting of death touch the righteous. Someone yell out the next word.
Also.
Yeah, Lisa. Also, the tasting of death touched the righteous also. We ain't immune. Get your booster. We ain't immune. Tasting of death will touch some of us. And there was a destruction of the multitude in the wilderness. We're talking about Moses. We're talking about the Yehudim being led out. This is the period of time. There's nothing new under the sun. The Exodus. We're going to look at the angel of death, the Exodus. at Passover. This is what this story is talking about. Nothing new under sun. What has happened will happen. Solomon, his wisdom. Nothing new. That's why the tribulation is called the greater Exodus. That's their name, it's not my name. But it does say, no man has seen such trials and tribulation as this period. It does say that. So therefore, the caption greater Exodus does fit. Far worse than the first one. Stand and fight with the rock of wisdom within you, and you'll be powerful and effective. Look how Moses, even the destroyer, buckled before Moses. I ain't reading poetry, guys. I ain't reading poetry. We're looking at swords of the Ruach, swords of his spirit, Ruach Yahuah. Yeah, the tasting of death touched the righteous also, and there was a destruction of the multitude in the wilderness, but the wrath endured not long. I left out Revelation, one verse, Revelation, stay there, stay there, stay there. Dispensationist favorite verse. We're out of here, bro. You're wrong, bro. We're out of here. Forgive me, forgive me. Forgive me, you think I'm mocking. I am, okay, but still forgive me. Okay, I'm reading one verse from Revelation 3, verse 10. But you have kept my command. Who? You. You have kept my command. This is dispensationist, the pre-trib rapture's favorite verse. If you believe in that, then I give you the utmost respect, guys. I am not ridiculing or mocking you. It's all across America, and it swept the world like nothing else. And you have to research and investigate like your life depends on it, because it does. It does. Because you have kept my command to persevere. Stand and fight. Stand and fight. I also will keep you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon the whole world, to test those who dwell on the earth. That's Revelation 3, verse 10. I will keep you. Keep is not an aggressive word. It's a passive word. Keep does not mean rapture. That's what they teach. Rapture, out, caught up, out. It's a passive word. Keep. If I have one apple and my little boy says, Dad, you keep this for me until I come home, I say, yes, son, I'll keep this for you. I'm not snatching it away. I'm not chopping it up. I'm not screaming over it. I'm just keeping it passively for him. And when he comes home, I say, here you are, son. Here's the apple that I kept for you. I will keep you from the hour of trial that will test those that live on the face of the earth. We shall see it, but he's going to keep you. We read before about how he hides you. He hides you in the palm of his hand. If you have his ruach, his wisdom within you, he'll hide you. I'll keep you. I'll hide you. I'll keep you. I'll hide you, my daughter. I'll hide you. Go inside your house for a short time until this inundation passes. Hide yourself. That's what Hosea and Amos talk about. Hide yourself. The hour of trial that will test those that dwell on the face of the earth. I'll keep you. But death shall touch some. 21.
Hey, Shane.
Yeah, bro.
There's something I've always wondered about that verse. It says, hide yourself for a while. I just kind of, what does that mean to you? I mean, is it, go find the hole and hide in it for a little while? Or I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably a few meanings.
Yeah, Randall.
Taken there.
Yeah, Randall, isn't that a real key word, hide yourself? Yeah, each one of us here is going to investigate and research that. Hide yourself. It talks about go inside, like we just talked about, go inside and close the door behind you. What to me that means separate yourself from the fear and indignation that's outside. Separate your thoughts, separate your, especially your ruach, your spirit, separate your fear, your anxiety from what's happening outside in the world. Just go inside, close the door, hide yourself. And for Ezra talks about that, it talks about when they search the houses, the cities and the countries, and they're all slain, dung upon dung, are the people piled up. They will search your house, but 2 or 3, or maybe 3 or 4, it says, of your house shall be kept safe. To me, that's what it means. It means just separate yourself, hide yourself from your fear, your thoughts, your anxieties, your stress, your worries. And that's what EMF does. Son Andrea and Jesse and I, we talk about that all the time, Randall and guys. We talk about the effects of EMF, what it does, what 5G does. It embeds stress and fear and anxiety and severe flu, right, Son Andrea, inside you. It gives you brain fog, short-term memory loss. It makes you say, I'm not even walking outside. I'm too afraid and I don't know why. Okay? You got too much EMF around you. Now listen and listen and listen. I turn off everything here. Okay? I do not do social media. I don't sit in front of a screen only for this once a month. I don't have a mobile phone. My son gave me one to listen to strong Yah's music when I go for my long prayer walks. That's the only time I use it. And I'm seeing how my son, who's away working, is doing. That's it. That's it. I won't have EMF next to me because of the effects of it against the bones, the joints, the mind, everything. Hide yourself for a short time. Don't worry. Don't recognize who your enemy is. Recognize who your enemy is. Okay?
Yeah. Shane?
Yeah.
I think John Barr and James, they had questions on what you're just saying here.
Sure. Okay, guys, we'll keep it quick. Your input is very, very important to us. And we have a lot to get through, so we want to move through. So, okay, guys, one go first.
I was reading in Psalm 27. It says, for in the day of evil he shall hide me in his sukkah, in the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock, and now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round and about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto Yahuwah.
Wow, Maria. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
There's the answer that Randall asked. Absolutely incredible.
Amen.
I'll hide you in the day of evil. I love that part, Maria.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
John, please.
Yes, separate. I like this. I think when we dissect the spirit, is a spirit that separates us. That's what the word holy means. It means separated. That's all. Sanctification means separated. From what? And Paul told Timothy, a good soldier does not get himself involved with the affairs of the world. This is separate. The affairs of the world. We have to live here, but we don't have to be part of the kingdoms of this world. And I think that's very important. Doesn't mean go hide in a cave like you were saying, and you repeated that word separate many times. So that's exactly, it's like, choose where my mind is going to be, choose where my eyes are going to be, choose what I'm going to be listening to. I can't avoid it all, but I can protect myself with the, you got to suit up, put on the armor. All of these things are pointing to us separating and being separated. It's like, I don't really have to worry about it if I turn towards the Lord and have the Spirit. The Spirit will separate me without me even knowing it. I just won't want to go there anymore, you know? So that's about all I had to say about that.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
Thank
Oh,
you.
one other thing that came up about the rainbows, came up with Stephen the other day. Yahuah put his bow in the clouds. That's his bow. That's like bow and arrow bow. That's not like a bow in a box. Bow is in the clouds, but he kept the arrows. He kept the arrows. If you do a search on the word arrows in the scriptures, they're all over the place. And one of them says that arrows, like the arrows in the hand of a mighty man, are his children. So who is the mighty man? Yahushua is the mighty man.
Yeah.
This is really neat. And we are the children of Yahweh. We are the arrows at some point.
Yeah.
So these are things to encourage us, really encouraging.
Okay, John. Okay, good work. Yeah. And before we go to Kirk and Beck, you know,
I just wanted
that's
to
the
kind
bottom.
of
Yeah, you know, that's the bottom line, Kurt, is what John said about being called out and set apart. That really is the bottom line. Okay, we have to live in this world, but we are not of this world yet. You will talk to people that you think are believers, true believers, and they are of this world. Okay, they're hunting a bigger job, a bigger car, a bigger house, everything. Okay, they are of this world. Okay, Kurt, please go for it, though.
I was just going to piggyback off of John with Daniel, who is a pure example of living in Babylon, but not being of Babylon.
Yeah. Isn't that great, Kurt? Go on, mate. A little bit more to that. Isn't that great? Daniel and the 3 young Jews, yeah? They wanted to change their names, but Daniel kept hold of it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Worship my gods, my Babylonian gods. Exactly. What a great story, Kurt. What a great story. You know, we underestimate the power of these mighty men and women in the scriptures that Kurt just brought out. Okay, I ain't worshiping your Babylonian gods. They'll all take it, guys. They'll all take it. I worship the idols that Jesse was talking about at the beginning. They'll worship the idols, the incense of the smoke of their incense. They'll let Rome dictate their thought pattern and their lifestyle. They will, and they will, and they will. But I ain't, as Kurt said, Daniel said, I ain't worshiping your Babylonian gods. I ain't falling down at the sound of the gong. Goodness. Okay, here we go. Verse 20.
Jane?
Yeah, go on. Who's this? Jesse, is it?
No, Raina.
No, it's
Raina, go on. Yeah.
the word there is Hebrew. It's not Jewish young men. It's the Hebrew.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Raina.
Thanks, Raina.
Yeah. No J in a Chinese calendar. Exactly. Verse 22, where Wisdom of Solomon 18, verse 22. So he overcame. Who overcame? Moses. One righteous man with a proper ministry. He overcame. Someone yell out the next 2 words.
The destroyer.
Yeah. Keep on going. Keep it going.
Not with strength of body nor force of arms, but with the word subdued him that punished, alleging the oaths and covenants made with the fathers.
Look at that, Kurt. Look at that, mate. One man with proper ministry stood up against the destroyer. Even the destroyer buckled. Who is this destroyer? The angel of death. Goodness. With a word, subdued the destroyer. With oaths, covenants, the testimony of Yahushua and the Torah of Yahuah, witnessing. Not even the destroyer could touch such a righteous one, because the prayer of a righteous man is both and. And here we're seeing it, the appearance of the destroyer, but powerful and effective as this one man. Verse 23, for when the dead were now fallen down by heaps, piled up like dung. are upon one another, standing between he, Moshe stayed the wrath of Elohim. The destroyer is set free. The wrath of Elohim, the vials, maybe even the trumpets, yeah? Maybe even the seals, yeah? The wrath of Elohim. But we are not appointed to wrath. That ain't a rapture verse. It's talking true believer with the ruach of wisdom within you. Even the destroyer will buckle before you. You're not appointed to this wrath. It's for the unrighteous, the wicked, not the righteous, but it will touch. The taste of death shall touch some. It ain't up to us. Sword, death, captivity, escape or endure. It's up to him. You hear me say it every month. It's up to him. It's up to him. As for me and my household, we shall serve Yahuwah. He stayed the wrath and parted the way to the living. 24. For in the long garment, Moshe's long garment was the whole world, and in the 4 rows of the stones was the glory of the Father's graven, and your majesty upon the diadem of his head. 25. Unto these the destroyer gave place, and was afraid of them. What? For it was enough that they only tasted of the wrath. Some of us shall only taste of the wrath, whatever that means. Taste of the wrath. Some, Revelation 2 talks about it. Some, confusion over the word some. Some of you shall be put in prison by the devil for 10 days. Hold on. Persevere to the very end, so that you do not lose your crown of life. That is not a love letter. That is an instruction. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, you ugly bomb. Get up. Don't give up. Run him over. That's who Apollo is. That's who Apollo Creed is. Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers, the actor, the gray black American actor, Carl Weathers, is named after Apollyon, the destroyer. Rocky is supposed to signify the true believer who ain't given up. That's why you hear me rave on about a Babylonian Hollywood movie. They can move us sometimes. Get up against Apollo. He will give place. He will give place, and was afraid of them. It's not just talking about Moses, afraid of them. One man's leading them. The rest are saying, okay, I'll get up. Yeah. Afraid of them. The destroyer. My goodness. What a character. What a person. A person not to fear. He, we all know it's a great star. It's an angel. We all know that. When I say he, a person, you know what I'm trying to say. Revelation, guys. We're going to move through very quick now. Let's look at who he is. Oh, goodness. Mary or Randy, only if you got it open, just wave your hands if you haven't. Revelation 9, I'll give you 1 minute. We're going to look at one verse. I want you to read one verse, guys. Mary or Randy, only if you're there, mate. Okay?
I'm there.
Yeah, Revelation 9. Apollyon, the destroyer.
Verse.
Okay,
What
Mary.
verse, Shane?
Okay.
From the beginning?
Yeah, no, just one verse, Mary. And then I'll give you one more verse. I don't close the scriptures. Revelation 9, verse 1, please.
And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
Now there's a key word there. Bottomless pit. Where is it? Where is it? What is it? We're going to find out where it is. And guess what, guys? It ain't in the heavens. It's a spiritual war. Of course it is. It's a spiritual. It's up there. We're going to find out where the bottomless pit is. One more verse, Mary. Next verse. Verse 2, please.
And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
Okay, this is exactly what Moshe saw in the Exodus type thing, scenario. You just paint the scenario. Fear and death. But even the destroyer gave pace. James, one more verse, same chapter. Go down to verse 11, please. 11 and 12 of chapter 9.
And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name is in the Ivri tongue is Abaddon, but in the Yavani tongue was his name Apollonium.
Exactly. As Rena just said before, go on. Sorry, James, one more.
I'm sorry. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter.
Okay, don't let go of the woes, guys. Don't ever forget the woes. As Raina talked about, Hebrew tongue, Abaddon, destruction. Greek tongue, Apollyon, destroyer. Angel, death, set free, a star. Back to verse 1, a star fall from heaven, a star fall. Star represents angel. If it's a star falling, an angel falling, it's a fallen angel. It ain't a good guy. Okay? We just got to use and apply sometimes our common sense. I saw a star fall from heaven. A fallen star, fallen angel, a bad guy. And Yahuah gave him a key to the bottomless pit, and locusts came out. Well, guess, guys, there's one verse in Proverbs 30, verse 27, that tells me they ain't locusts. It says in Proverbs 30, verse 27, there's one thing from nowhere. Proverbs 30 doesn't talk about locusts and animals and this and that. It just plucks this one verse in. It says that locusts have no king over them, yet they march forward as a mighty army, as one. Locusts have no king over them, but James just read, and they have a king over them, whose Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, destruction. Greek tongue is Apollyon, destroyer. They have a king, the destroyer, over them. They ain't locusts. Research, investigate every single word. There's nothing like Revelation 9 for death and destruction. The sixth trumpet, the fifth trumpet, man will seek death for 5 months, but will not find it. But they have the destroyer over them. That shows you the sixth trumpet and his buddies come along very quickly. A third of mankind is slain. For one woe is past, the fifth trumpet. 2 more woes are to follow, the sixth and the seventh trumpet. Why are just the fifth, sixth, and seventh trumpet called woes? Why aren't the first, second, third, fourth trumpet called woes? You heard me say it last time. The first 4 trumpets are against the earth and against the cosmics, against the heaven. The earth and the heavens, the seas, the grass, the boom, 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 the boom, the waters, boom, boom, boom. The last 3 trumpets are against mankind. That's why they're called woes. This is what Jeremiah saw on the outside of the scroll. Woes, lamentations, and mournings written on the outside of the scroll. What scroll? John the Revelator scroll, the end time scroll. That's what he's seen. He's seen the fifth trumpet, the seventh trumpet. woes, lamentations, and mourning. One woe is past, the fifth trumpet. Two more woes are to follow, the sixth trumpet, the seventh trumpet. There's nothing like the destroyer, Apollyon, Abaddon. He has many names. Sweeping across the face of the earth, stand strong like Moses. Let your prayers be both powerful and effective. For my prayers to be powerful and effective, I gotta be a righteous man. Otherwise, I'm just a stinking house of flesh. Just whisper inside yourself right now, guys. I ain't forcing you to say anything. I don't want to hear you. No one wants to hear you. Just whisper inside, just between you and the very breath of Yahuwah. I ain't want to be a stinking house of flesh, yeah. I want to be a righteous woman. I want to be a righteous man. I need my prayers to be both powerful and effective. I need your Ruach HaKodesh to dwell within me. Lead me, defend me, go before me. I refuse to be a house of flesh, guys. 1 Chronicles 21, the destroyer. David sees this fearful. 1 Chronicles chapter 21. David sees this fearful sight. His father Yahuwah gives David, I don't know, just off the top of this little pea head, I think it's the only time David had a vision. But Yahuwah wanted David to see the outcome of his filth, his unrighteousness, his non-effective and non-powerful praying. His sin, doesn't matter what it was. So Yahuwah shows David the most fierce and fearful vision. 1 Chronicles chapter 21. Back, Kurt, if you can, guys, if you've got it open, very slowly. Couple of verses. We're going to start verse 14, but stop after each verse.
21, 14. Got it.
What was that again? 1 Chronicles
21, verse 14, 15, 16, 17. But just verse, stop for a few seconds.
So Yahuwah sent pestilence upon Yasharel, and there fell of Yasharel 70,000 men.
Okay, back 70,000 of Yahuwah's chosen ones, for death shall touch them. What did Yahuwah send? Someone yelled out, top of verse 14. What did Yahuwah send?
Pestilence.
Yeah. Another word for pestilence in today's terminology would be?
disease,
Pandemic.
pandemic.
Very good. Very good. Very good. If a pestilence is sweeping the earth, what would you call it? What's one name that begins with V that you will call it?
Plague. But isn't it a plague in Greek?
Very good.
Jane?
And in English, what would you say, Joy? It was English.
Pandemic. No, that's the word that was used here. No, I would call it the snake bite, the evil. I just knew when it came about that our life was never going to be the same anymore. And I knew it was the start of something big.
Yes, Joy.
But plague, I think, is what it means.
Exactly. Plague, pestilence, virus.
Right.
Exactly. That's what's inside a snake bite. You don't need to hear me up on my soapbox again. Okay. Verse 14 says, Yahuwah sent a virus, pestilence, upon Yasharel, and there fell of Yasharel 70,000 men. Back, verse 15, please.
And Elohim sent an angel unto Yerushalayim to destroy it.
To what, Beck?
To destroy it.
To destroy it. To destroy it. Yah's chosen people. Go on.
And as he was destroying, Yahuwah beheld, and he repented of the evil.
Okay, look at that. As he was destroying, not before he started to destroy. As he was destroying, Yahuwah stayed the hand of the angel of death. Go on, Beck.
And said to the angel that destroyed, it is enough. Stay now your hand. And the angel of Yahuwah stood by the threshing floor of Ornan Yavasi.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
One more.
And David lifted up his eyes and saw the angel of Yahuwah stand between the earth and the heavens, having a drawn sword in his hand, stretched out over Jerusalem. Then David and the elders of Yasharel, who were clothed in sackcloth, fell upon their faces.
Exactly, Beck. We'll just hold it there. That's all we can do. Fall upon your face, guys. Look at that. Yahuwah gives David, his servant, the apple of my eye. I'm giving the apple of my eye a vision. David sees this vision. It's heavens, plural. Heavens. 1, 2, 3. Research yourself. He sees this angel. He sees the destroyer. He sees Apollyon. He sees Azazel. We'll get there. He sees Abaddon. This is the angel of death. Many names. With a drawn sword in his hand, standing between earth and the heavens. And then Yahuwah instructs it to sheath his sword. That's enough. 70,000. They'll taste death and they'll know what to expect. They tasted death, so we know what to expect throughout the greater Exodus, the tribulations. There's never been more unrighteousness than the consummation of time. Manasseh, king, filthy. Yasharel at its worst. Today, Yasharel, with the Roman handcuffs all around it, the secular, the unrighteous, filthy. That's why it's the consummation of time. That's why it's the cup of the sins of the Ammonite has overflowed. And that's when Yahuwah sends the destroyer forth. One last verse, 17. And David said unto Elohim, is it not that I have commanded the people to be numbered the census? Even is it that I have sinned and done evil indeed? But as for these sheep, what have they done? That your hand, I pray you, O Yahuwah, Elohai, be on me and on my father's house, but not on your people, that they should be plagued. There's the word that Joy said. Plague, pestilence, virus. The scriptures are filled of they, the hirelings, the principles of the flock, the elders, lead the sheep to the slaughter. Here's what's David saying. I am the shepherd, David saying. I am the shepherd. Let your hand be upon me. David made a mistake earlier on. David chose wrongly, and now he's trying to alter the course. And he does because Yahuwah sees him as the apple of his eye. Let your hand be upon me. I don't want to lead my sheep to the slaughter. Try saying that to the hirelings. Try saying that to the elders. They are led the sheep to the slaughter and they couldn't give a toss. That's an Australian word. My goodness. David sees the destroyer with his sword drawn and it's between earth and the heavens. And Yahuwah is staying the hand of the destroyer. 70,000 is enough. Exodus, guys, the Passover. Exodus chapter 12, please. Exodus chapter 3, the destroyer, the angel of death. Couple of verses.
12, verse 3.
No, boss. Who said that? Boss said
Me.
that. Little Jessica, isn't it? Always gets it wrong, doesn't she? Hey?
What did you say?
Hey? I hear John H. say to Jesse all the time on Tuesday night, Jess, wrong slide. Put the right slide up. I'm only kidding, Sister Jessie. Okay, Exodus chapter 12, 2 verses. Verse 23 and 24. Verse 23. For Yahuwah will pass through to smite the Mitzrayim, Egypt, the land of captivity, the land of bondage. You heard John Barr talk about, you called out and set apart, come out of her, my people, Babylon. Captivity, Egypt, bondage, slavery, the thought process that leads you to Babylon, captivity. There's hardly any difference. Mitzrayim, captivity. Every single person on the place of the earth, except for the true believer, is under some form of captivity and bondage and slavery to Mitzrayim, Egypt. And when he sees blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, Yahuwah will pass over that door and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you, because you're not of Egypt, Mitzrayim. You're not of bondage, of captivity. You're not of slavery. Yeah, your life might be hard. You might be suffering and agonizing and going through trials and tribulation, but you ain't Egypt. You ain't got the Roman handcuffs on. You're called out, you're set apart. Now stand like you are. Stand like you are. Verse 24, and ye shall guard. This is all we can do. This is all we can do. Stay the hand of the destroyer. 24, and ye shall guard this thing for an ordinance to you. What thing? The destroyer passing over your house to smite you, but it ain't going to smite you. This thing. And you shall guard this thing for an ordinance to you and to your sons. Someone yell out the next word after sons. And your sons?
Forever.
Yeah,
Forever.
Exactly. Forever. Not just this generation, not just Pharaoh's generation. Forever. Until the consummation of time, the last 7 years of the earth. The destroyer won't come into your house. Some of you will taste death. I will never give you a lie. Some of you shall face death. But I'll hide you in the palm of my hand. I'll keep you in the hour of trial that will face upon all those that live on the face of the earth. Revelation 3 verse 10. I'll keep you. I'll keep this apple for my son. I'll keep this apple of my eye for my son, my daughter. Destroyer. Don't knock here. Don't knock here. Here's the blood of Yahushua. And the blood of Jesus will say, hallelujah. No. Here is the blood of Yahushua. Staying the hand of the destroyer, Apollyon, Abaddon, Azazel. Here's the meaning. Your prayers are both powerful and effective, for you are righteous. You have the spirit of the Ruach of wisdom within you. We're going to fly through 2 Kings, guys. 2 Kings. 2 Kings chapter 19, the destroyer, the appearance of the destroyer. 2 Kings chapter 19, Jess will say chapter 25, but I'll say chapter 19, yeah? 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 31 and 35, the appearance of the destroyer. You got to know that he's been here and he's been here and he's been here before. It ain't nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. This is why you know these stories. This is why we're talking about it. There's nothing new under the sun. What has happened and has happened and has happened will happen. The whirlwind, the blacksmith, the lion has come up from the thicket. Jeremiah 4 talks about. The destroyer has been set loose, Jeremiah 4. The lion has come up from the thicket. The destroyer has been set loose. The blacksmith, the whirlwind, the terrible star. Destruction, angel of death. He's been here, he's been here, he's been here. Other generations have seen it. We shall see it. John Barr's family's seen it, parents seen it, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. We'll see it. We'll see it. Fourth seal. Death by 4 methods. We'll see it. Some of you will face death. Fifth seal. I saw the blood of those beheaded under the altar. And the blood cried out unto me, how long, O Yahuah, how long until you avenge our blood, the righteous blood, upon those that dwell upon the face of the earth. It's those that dwell upon the face of the earth gave death to the true believer, to some of the true believer. That's talking about an army, a government, an authority, a kingdom, a king. We will see it. I'm not talking death. I'm talking destroyer. We will see it. The blood of Yahushua, your lintels, your doorposts. Circumcision of the heart. 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 31. Rick B, have you got an open, bro? If you have, Rick, I'll give you 30 seconds, bro. Don't worry if you haven't got it, mate. 2 Kings chapter 19, verse 31 to 35, and we'll break it down verse by verse. 2
Kings
19.
Got it.
Verse 31, please, Rick B.
Yes, sir. For out of Yerushalayim shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of Yahuah Shabbaoth shall do this.
Excellent, Rick. We're going to break it down verse by verse. Stay there, bro. You're going to be reading next. Look at that. This is what Rick just read there is about my most favorite part. You hear me say it a few times. 3 favorite parts in the scriptures. The zeal of Yahuah shall do this. His zeal shall do this. It shall do what? A remnant. That's you. And that's you. That's Vicky. That's Debbie. That's Heather. That's my Tablelands friend, Robbie. North Queensland. Boom. The Caribbean. North Queensland. It's underneath Papua New Guinea. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's okay. His zeal will do this for Charlie Opara, for Joy, for Candace. His zeal will do this. Engelberg, his zeal will do this for you. His perfect zeal, perfect jealousy for you. His perfect envy, perfect jealousy for you. But more than for you, it's for his judgment, his righteousness, Yahuwah's righteousness. That's what his jealousy is about. His perfect zeal, his perfect jealousy, his perfect envy is about it talks about, Ezekiel talks about a seat of jealousy facing the north, the seat of jealousy. It's about his perfect jealousy and envy for himself being righteous creator. And if you ain't on board, then you're a goose. You're a goose. You apostate. You're a goose. You apostate. But if you're on board, I'll go out before you and I'll be a defender behind you. I'll hide you in the palm of my hand. For my seal of Yahuwah shall do this. Not you, not by might. You heard that by Moses. Not by might, by his 4 rows, his theodrum in his head. The destroyer gave place to him righteousness. His seal. It's not your fight. It's not your fight. You have a role to play. Your role is righteousness. It's his fight. Hey, destroyer, get out of here. Put your sword back in the sheath. Get out of here. Pass over this door. You will not smite this household. Rick, next verse, bro.
Therefore, thus says Yahuwah, concerning the king of Ashur, he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shield, nor cast a bank against it.
Look at that, shoot an arrow, what John Barr's talking about. Destroyer ain't going to shoot an arrow at you. He ain't going to shoot an arrow at you. He's going to pass by your house, the angel of death. Next verse, Rick.
By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and he shall not come into the city, says Yahuwah.
Last verse.
For I will defend this city to save it for my own sake and for my servant David's sake.
Look at that, 2 sakes, David's sake, the apple of his eye, and for my sake, there's your jealousy, there's your perfect jealousy. Sorry, there's your zeal, your perfect jealousy, your perfect envy, for my sake. You were saying for my sake, for my zeal. I'll save you. I'll save you. I will defend this city. That's you. I'll defend. That's you. That's Bob and Michelle. That's Fat. That's Barry and Victoria. I'll defend this city. I'll defend these people. That's Netherlands, Lynn, Jeanette, Robert E. Lee. Goodness, I'll defend this. I'll defend my son, Robert E. Lee. Yeah, look at Joy in the doorpost. You want to talk to someone later, talk to Joy in the doorpost. The scripture on every doorpost. You can't take one step in Joy's property without treading on a scripture somewhere. Yeah, she knows how to defend this city. Good work, Joy. Verse 35, and it came to pass that night that the angel of Yahuah went out, the destroyer, and smote in the camp of the Syrians 180,5,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses, dung upon dung. Only Robert E. Lee knows what 180,5,000 are. Robert, if you're able to take yourself off mute, how many is that? How many Assyrians were slain by the angel of death, the destroyer, in this one by morning time?
185,000.
Excellent, Robert E. Lee. He never gets it wrong. I'm going to get him one day. I'm going to get Robert E. Lee one day and give him such a hard one, like 603 score and 6, and ask him to break it down and see whether I can trap him under. I don't know. I've never been able to trap him yet. He gets every single one right. 185,000 Syrians slain by the angel of death, the destroyer. That's it. Okay. We've got to move really quick now. And I mean it really quick. They bound. I got to cover one thing before we finish, guys. Okay, they're bound. Are they loosed? Okay. Let's go to Enoch. Book of Enoch. Enoch chapter 10, please.
Still got the Ezra reading if you want it, Shay.
Yes, we're not going to have time for that. You've done all that work for me on the slide.
All right, it's okay.
Yeah.
Enoch 10.
Who is the destroyer? Who is the angel of death? Is there one? Is there more? Are they gone forever? Are they gone forever? It's confusing. The book of Enoch shows us something. It's incomplete. But we're going to try and put it 2 pieces of the jigsaw together by looking at Revelation, the 6th trumpet, the 5th trumpet, Apollyon, the destroyer. He's locked up in the bottomless pit. Where is the bottomless pit? But a star falls from heaven, an angel falls from heaven, an angel falls and unlocks, lets loose Apollyon. And then there's some more bad guys that follow immediately after 5 months. And be there for 5 months, but shall not find it. That shows me after 5 months, these bad guys are let loose. Here's the bad guys. Enoch's showing us who the bad guys are. Enoch chapter 10, verse 6. Again, Yahuwah said to Raphael, the good angel, bind Azazel, chain him up, hand and foot, cast him into darkness and opening the desert. Not the heavens, the desert, which is in Dudael. The desert in Dudael. Cast him in there. Throw upon him hurled and pointed stones, covering him with darkness. There shall he remain forever. Cover his face. The word there, forever. Let's see if it is really forever or pretty close to forever. It's confusing. That he may not see the light, verse 9. And in the great day of judgment, let him be cast into the fire. 11, all the sons of men shall not perish in consequences of every secret by which the watchers have destroyed, by which they have taught their offspring. 12, all the earth has been corrupted. All the earth has been corrupted by the effects and the teaching of Azazel. To him, therefore, ascribe the whole crime. I'm going to fly through this. Forgive me if it's confusing, guys. What are the manner? Rothschild puts out 14 chairs. 14 chairs Rothschild puts out at his manor home. What is the manor? But how many families rule the world? 13. The 14th chair is for the chief of the fallen angels. Some say Hasatan. But here it's showing me that Azazel is talking the secrets to the people, teaching the secrets to the people. God has a 14th chair when the heads of the 13 families that rule the world sit in these chairs. The 14th chair, the head of the table, is vacant for the head of the fallen angels to whisper in ears what the next secret thing to do. Now, I know that is bizarre, and I know I've only ever taught that once. You either take it or you don't. But one thing I investigate are the families that rule the world. Their bloodlines, their Phoenician bloodlines. They rule the world out of Warb, W-O-R-B, Warb, Switzerland, the headquarters of the Illuminati. The word darkness does not fit them. The level of darkness is unknown to men. They are the sons and the daughters of the fallen ones, Saxon, Coburg, and Gotha. We're not going to go through them. You know who they are. Long live the king. Every apostate denomination. Long live the king. Verse 13, to Gabriel also Yahuwah said, go to the bastards, that's how he sees them, to the reprobates, to the children of fornications, talking about their children now, the bloodlines, and destroy the children of fornication, the offspring of the watchers, bloodlines, the offspring, bastards, the reprobates, destroy them. From among men, bring them forth and excite them one against another. Let them perish by mutual slaughter, for the length of the day shall not be theirs. This is talking about war upon war, kingdom against kingdom, bloodline against bloodline. Excite them to fight against one another. This is talking about who controls the wars. Yahuwah is in control. Excites them to turn against one another. Verse 14, They shall all entreat you, but the fathers shall not obtain their wishes, respecting them. They want more, and they want more. They want this earth without God. They want this earth without us, but they ain't going to get it. That's what they want. A world without God. That's their words. Elohim Yahuah. They know they can never get into heaven. So they want their kingdom on earth, and they want us gone. Number one commandment, Georgia Guidestones. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Gaia, that's who they worship. Gaia, Mother Earth, Sophia, Diana, Gaia. Climate change. We worship you. We worship you. Kill 7.5 billion. Keep 500 million as our slaves. You hear me say it all the time. You've got to know the depths of their evil. Verse 15, to Michael, likewise, Yahuwah said, go and announce his crimes to Shemyaza and to the others, destroying angels. Azazel, bound hand and foot. Shemyaza, the leader of the fallen angels, bound hand and foot. And to the others, watchers, who are with him, who have been associated with women, that they might be polluted with all their impurity. And when all their sons shall be slain, they're gonna face death, guys. No two ways about it. Bind them for 70 generations. When they shall see the perdition of their beloved, bind them for 70 generations. Underneath the, someone yell out the next word, underneath the
earth.
Yeah. Underneath the earth, not the heavens, underneath the earth, in Dudael, in the deserts. Where is Dudael? What is Dudael? In the desert. Where? Bind them, Azazel, Shemyaza, and the others, and slay the children of the fornications. These bloodline families are not going to see their wishes that their sons are going to inherit their kingdom. They hate their sons. They hate their daughters. They love nothing but themselves. Their sons and their daughters. These are married bloodlines to keep their blood, the seed of the serpent, pure. But they're bound, they're thrown into the craven, under the desert, in Dudael. Verse 18, we're going to move fast. Destroy all the souls addicted to lust and the offsprings of the watchers. Saxon-Coburg, Gotha, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Pepe Orsini, Breaksphere, Medici, Conti, Venetian, Bologio, Asta, Mary Asta, the silent film star, Asta, Walmart, Walton, Onassis, Kennedy, on and on and on and on. Destroy the offspring, destroy them. 19, every oppressor perish from the face of the earth. Let every evil work be destroyed. My goodness. Let every evil work be destroyed. Dudael, Revelation 9. Guys, a minute, we're going to fly. Revelation 9, back to Revelation 9. The sixth trumpet. The sixth trumpet. Apollyon's let loose, Abaddon. Apollyon is let loose. Destroyer, angel death of Exodus, of 1 Chronicles. He's let loose. Just slain 100. He's already slain 185,000 Assyrians. He's slain them. He's already slain 70,000 men of Yerushalayim. He's slain them. He's slain Mitzrayim, the firstborn, their cows even. He's slain them. Slain them once, twice, 3 times. Here he comes a 4th time. And then a 5th time. Azazel, Shemyaza, bound hand and foot, and the others with him. The 4 angels on the 4 corners of the earth, bound. Revelation 9, the 6th trumpet. Verse 13, and the 6th angel sounded, 6th trumpet, 6th angel. And I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which is before Elohim. He's showing you Nothing is going to happen. Not one moment before I make it happen. It's carved in stone. No destroyer is going to be cut loose, is going to break loose of his bridle. Nothing is. He's going to pass over you. He's going to pass over you if I instruct him to. Saying to the sixth angel which had the shofar, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Perath, Euphrates. Loose the four angels that are bound. Shemyaza and Azazel are bound, and those with him in Dudael, in the desert, hand and foot, in the bottomless pits is open, and locusts come out, but locusts have no king over them. Yet they march forward as a mighty army, as one. The destroyers lead them out. The angel deaths lead them out. Azazel, Shemyaza, and those with him. Apollyon. Many names. As many destroying angels as Yahuah chooses from Yahuah's armaments are set loose. Verse 15. And the four angels were loose. They're bound. If they're loose, then they're bound. If they're loose at this exact moment, then they were bound, chained, hand and foot. Make no mistake, we're seeing another piece of the jigsaw, who they are, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year to slay a third part of mankind. Just before this, the fifth trumpet, men will seek death. It doesn't happen. They will seek death, but do not die. But here, a third of mankind are slain by the four angels, the four corners of the earth. They're bound. They're let loose. Exact hour, exact minute, exact day, exact week, exact year. Last scripture, Jeremiah, very last scripture, guys, 3 minutes. Jeremiah chapter 1. They're let loose, guys. They ain't coming until Yahuah says, now. Until Gabriel, Michael, unchange them. Until the star falls from heaven with the key to the bottomless pit, lets them loose. They ain't coming until Yah says, it's the exact hour. Now, I will keep you, Revelation 3:10, I will keep you from that exact hour. This is what Revelation 3 verse 10 is talking about. I will keep you hidden in my palm, not raptured. I'll keep you. There's the apple of my eye. I'll keep you from the hour of trial before all those on the face of the earth. Passive word, not aggressive word. Keep, passive. I'll keep you. I'll keep you safe. Pass over their door. Don't go into their family. Jeremiah 1, verse 13. Dudael, the seething pot. Oh, Yahuah, having trouble trying to find you. The melting pot, the kettle, is what Dudael means. Dudael in the desert, where the fallen watchers are chained, the leaders, Shemyaza, Azazel, ascribe all the sin and all the secrets of the earth that all the 13 families know to Azazel, ascribe it to them, making swords and weapons, making everything evil that we're not supposed to know. Ascribe it to Azazel. He's whispering in the ears the secret knowledge into Rothschild. Ascribe it to him. Let loose. Dudael means seething pot. It means cauldron in Hebrew. Cauldron. Cauldron, poured out. It means kettle. It also means deity. Deity that Jesse was talking about at the beginning. Deity, evil deity. Dudael. That's what Dudael means. Seething pot. Jeremiah 1, verse 13. Right, so go to 11. Jeremiah 1 verse 11. We finish with this, guys. 3 verses. Moreover, the word of Yahuah came unto me, saying, Yirmiyahu, what do you see? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree, not an almond tree, a rod. The almond tree is the first tree to bloom in the desert, the dragon kings of Arabia. And all I see is a rod, a branch, just starting to pop forth, just starting to pop forth. The first tree to bloom in the desert is an almond tree. And I see a bit of a branch just popping out. That's what I see, Yahuah. Then Yahuah said unto me, you're well seen, for I will hasten my word. He's going to make it come quick to perform it. Verse 13. For the word of Yahuah came unto me a second time, saying, what do you see? And I said, I see a seething pot, a cauldron, a melting pot. Dudael, a deity, and the face thereof is towards the north, where the Babylonian army sweep down. You heard that last month. When it's facing the north, it means the Babylonian armies are the destroying armies coming down. Nothing's changed. Every army on the face of the earth is a Babylonian army under their control. DARPA, British, Australian, the Five Eyes, China, Russia, every single army. We don't need to even go there. Facing the north, Babylonian army sweeping down. Poured out upon Yasharel. Then Yahuah, verse 14, said unto me, out of the north, Babylonian armies, and evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land. For lo, I will call all the families of the kingdom of the north, all the families of the kingdoms of Babylon, all the bloodline families of the kingdom of Babylon from the north, says Yahuah, and they shall come, and they shall set everyone his throne, his authority, his kingdom, his power, his ability at the entering of the gates of Yerushalayim, and against all the walls thereof round about, and against all the cities of Yehudah. And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness, them, the wicked ones, who have forsaken me, and have burned incense unto other Elohim, Rome, and worship the works of their own hands, the secular world. The secular world worship the works of their own home. Look what I've done. Look what I've accomplished. It's covering them all. The secular, the Roman control, those who have done wickedness against me. It's covering them all. But my true believers, I will hide. I will hide my true believers in the palm of my hand. When I pour out the cauldron, the melting pot, upon the face of the earth and upon this land, I'll keep you safe, because your prayers are both powerful and righteous and effective if we are righteous, if we have the ruach of wisdom within us, who will not dwell in a defiled tabernacle. For know ye not that ye are the temple, the tabernacle of Elohim? If any man defiles this temple, tabernacle, I, Yahuah, will destroy him. Let righteousness guide us. Let his ruach, his wisdom, his spirit lead us. And we will bust our guts to climb our holy hill, chasing after him like no man alive, and standing before him through all our fears and anxieties and worries and stress and brain fog and severe flu symptoms. and short-term memory loss and arthritis and broken relationships and loneliness and lack and lack and lack. Is my pain perpetual and my wound incurable? Or Yahuwah unable to be healed? Hang on, Yemayahu. Hang on. You're speaking the hard things for me. I'm with you. I'll hide you. I'll pull you up out of this dungeon. I'll pull you up out of this torture chamber. You got one job to do, guys. Hold on. After doing all, stand.
Amen.
Stand. It's 5:33, guys. I went overboard. Forgive me. Okay, please. Any input, anything that you want to share and reveal to us, let's make it short and sweet. If you've got a split before Dr. SP starts at 6, please, you're not going to upset us one bit.
Yeah.
Jesse, would you take over?
Yeah, of course. Who was that?
Jim and Marie Isabel. Real quick, those 5 kingdoms that Sean was alluding to over here in Yirmiyahu chapter 1, could that be like Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome?
Yeah, good question, James. Okay, again, I always answer the same way. I want us guys to research and investigate. Okay, when we read about Babel and Babylon, it's talking about the Babylonian worshippers that control the world. They are Babylonian worshippers.
Right.
The kingdoms of this earth in our time, 2023 and so on, have always been Babylonian worshippers. Assyrian, Phoenician, Egyptian worshippers. They're all from the pharaonic bloodlines. They control everything. They own everything. That's the whole purpose of the first seal, go out conquering and conquers. They conquer everything they want. They take for themselves. So it's not really talking about land mass. It's not talking about, that's what happens in the Old Testament. Jordan, Syria, Iran, Persia, Medes, all this is talking more about the spiritual climate. And it's good that you brought in Greece and Medes and all that, yeah? It's talking about those in control, the spirits, the deities in control.
Okay, yeah, I see.
That's for today.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Precious.
Thank you.
Guys, please don't think you'll offend us by having to leave. We don't want to keep you from joining Stephen. You've got about 25 minutes. You can make a cup of tea before the next Shabbat with him. It's lovely having you here, but go when you need to. Mr. John Helen.
Hi guys, just a quickie. I mentioned some time ago about the star Betelgeuse, the coming of the branch, which is the signs in the heavens. There's an announcement yesterday on the news that's just doubled in brightness. So if we're looking at the stars, and there's one called the coming of the branch, which is in the sign of Orion, which is actually in Hebrew is the coming forth of light, the constellation, then the coming of the branch star is something we should be looking at. And obviously it's going supernova, but the fact it's double in brightness now at such a time as this, where we have the Holy Spirit coming down, etc. at the end, it's probably worth noticing.
Wow, double in brightness, that's amazing, John. That's amazing. And that came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
And all your notes, John, they can be found on our website with what you were speaking. We've got your PDFs on there to each program.
Sure. Yep, it should be in
Go
there.
back. Yeah. Sandra says the spirit of adversary. Orion is Yahusha HaMashiach. She's made Orion and Mary Fields. Please look through the chats. There's been some very, very good.
Someone's reading those stuff. Jesse, look, I just got to run off for 3 minutes and I'll be straight back. Jesse, let the guys give their input and let them answer.
Please.
That's what I want. I want you guys to try and answer it the best of your ability so that each one of us here can grow and grow.
Please don't be shy. This is your opportunity. Anyone?
I have a question.
Yeah, is that Joe?
It's Karen. Yes.
Karen.
Hi.
Hi, Karen.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
So have we determined where that bottomless pit is in the desert? Have we defined that?
Dudael in the desert, but I don't know. It's supposed to be east of
I
Jerusalem.
always thought it was beneath the Euphrates River.
Yes. Okay, that's what I was thinking too.
Shane shouting east of Jerusalem, Judea, did you say?
Dudael is east of Jerusalem.
Dudael is east of Jerusalem. All right. Sorry, Randall, carry on. Or Rick, whoever said that.
Oh, I was just pointing out that, you know, the scripture talks about the angels that were bound in the river Euphrates, and that once that river dries up, they were going to be let loose, which kind of makes me wonder: is that when Hasatan is cast to the earth and frees them? I'm just kind of making some connections, but anybody who's done more research, I'll probably tell you better.
I had another question. So when I had heard this before, Shane had mentioned that the 14th chair was there at the Rothschild Manor. And I, if I can remember, it's not that he meets there every year, but it's, I don't know if it's every 30 years or something. I don't know if you guys know that, but more importantly, is this chief of the fallen angels also bound and then allowed to be released to meet with them? How is that is that one of those angels that is bound up that's released?
That's a really good question.
Okay. Shane's going to come back to you with that. Just wait for him to come back. He said,
Okay.
Brilliant question. Yeah. Mary Fields, have you got any answer to that? Or Sandrea? You don't
Some of
have
the
to
angels stayed behind and weren't bound up.
say that again, Robert. I interrupted you as you were speaking.
Some of the angels didn't get bound up because when Hasatan that wanted some of them to help him fulfill what fulfill his job here on earth. Not all of them got bound up.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find that.
Shane's on his way.
You know, that's
Beloved, this is Andrea. Reason why they were bound because they are spirit. They cannot be destroyed unless by Yah.
Yeah.
And he bound them for a period of time. One, the hybrids are out there. Hybrids, they're children. That is what is raising war right at this time and entering people, okay, is their hybrids, unless we allow it to come into us, the adversaries.
Yeah.
Okay, we can't see them. It's a spirit. If we can understand that it is a spirit, not physical, we keep looking at the physical. It is a spirit, okay? And we are a fence. Each and every one of us are a fence. We are the warriors of Yah, all right? We have a different type of spirit. The spirit that is within our temples, we become that fence. Unity, harmony, and order. We walk in his order, okay, in Yah's order. And whatever the hybrids are out there, because yes, they are raging, and yes, it's you cannot see it, and that's what we're fighting against. So as a family of Yah, we are warriors that stand against the wall. We become that wall. And so the seat of our thoughts, which is the seat of our heart, is our thoughts and also our mind. So we have to constantly never depart from his word. Never depart from his word. His word must be within our temples.
Yeah.
Okay, within our temples, because that we don't understand. Some of us do not understand the kingdom lives within us.
Yeah.
Okay, many are searching for the physical, but it's right within you. As Yeshua said, the kingdom is near. Do we understand what that means? The kingdom lives within you.
Yeah.
Excellent point. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Good work, Alan. Sandria. And the last question also,
Thank you,
both you
Karen.
guys. What's really good is when you guys work out things for yourself. The last question about the 14 chairs, Jess, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's so important. I mean, what we read here, it's just a piece of the jigsaw. You know, the bloodlines get their power. They get more and more power from these evil Iraqs that San Andrea was talking about. Okay, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, yeah. That's what they believe, but not what I say, what they believe. They go through rituals inviting these evil Iraqs within them. And the more power these families get, are the more evil Iraqs they have within them. That's what they believe. That's why they constantly go through the rituals and about meeting at what is the matter, Rothschild's manor, the 14th chair. That's why we read here that they are bound, Shemyaza, Azazel, and those with him are bound until the consummation of time, then thrown, Adria said, into a lake of fire. They can't be destroyed, okay, because they are supernatural beings. Okay, so they're bound, and then they're thrown into the lake of fire at the end. And what the 5th and 6th trumpet shows you is that some of the fallen ones are let loose. And that's what it shows you. So these are the jigsaws we're putting together. So who is the deity speaking into the 14th chair? Well, gee, I'd be very presumptuous to say I definitely know it was Azazel, and I kind of led that way. I definitely know it was, you know, him, the destroyer. You know, I kind of led that way, but how do we know? Okay, if they're bound and then thrown into the lake of fire, but some are let loose as the 5th trumpet and the 6th trumpet, well, we got to try and work this out. Okay, the important factor is, yes, it could be Hasatan whispering in the ear. It could be Apollyon, Azazel, Shemyaza. Yes, it could be. Okay, I was told it's Hasatan. Okay, but that is presumptuous. Of course, it is a chief, if not the leader. Of course it is. Of course, it is a spiritual being, an evil Iraq. Of course it is. Okay, the important thing is that Yahuah is in control, and that these families, these are the ones that wreak havoc upon the face of the earth. But it's all part of Yahuah's judgment. And that's why the key theme was, he will hide us. He will hide the true believer. He will protect us. Yet some believers shall face death. So that's the bottom line. And I always go to the bottom line. Okay. And for each one of us here, we have to investigate and research. Okay. If I give you the bottom line, then you investigate and research the first peel and the second peel and the third peel and work it out. Okay. Dudael in the desert, east of Jerusalem. That's all it says. That's all it says. East of Jerusalem is what it says. In the desert, the scriptures show us is in the earth. So the bottomless pit is Dudael in my pea brain, and it is in the earth. It is east of Jerusalem. That's where it is. That's why he talks about the 4 Iraqs, the 6th trumpet, who were bound and set loose in the 4 corners of the earth. Okay, he's talking about that. Okay, guys.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Shane. I think Mary Field, she probably has a question in line with that. Mary,
Good
are
to see
you there?
you again.
You can ask your question. I saw your hand up. I hope she hasn't disappeared. Oh, she might have gone.
Yeah, you know, Laura Lee asked a question just very quickly, guys. I've never heard about the chairs within Rothschild. Where can I learn more about this? You can't, Laura Lee. Okay, you've got to have, this is what I talk about, belief systems. You can't learn about these things. I've spent 42 years, like people like San Andrea does the same thing. San Andrea is brilliant with the Pilgrim Society, USA and Britain. Okay, you know, these are things that you research and investigate all your life. I've spent 42 years working out who the Masons are and their powers they have, and it's only the tip of the iceberg. It's only the tip of the iceberg. Okay, you learn to trust a certain person, and you really learn to distrust nearly everyone. That's my key. I distrust everything I hear, especially over the internet. I distrust it until I research and investigate and prove it to be true. That's why I'm talking about belief system. Okay, if I believe in red, you believe in blue, and you say blue is true, red is evil, I won't toss that away. I will make sure, I will try to disprove you, not you as a new person, but you try and disprove the person. And as Sherlock Holmes says, when you do the, you eliminate the obvious, you're left just with the evidence, something like that. You know, I don't get Sherlock Holmes too well. He eliminates all the obvious things and see what he's left with, and that's the clue that leads him to who the murderer is. And that's what it's all about. Okay, we try to disprove everything, and when we say, you know what, I can't disprove this, so I'm just going to retain this, and then I'm going to maybe even prove it to be true. And that's what we do, guys.
Hey, Shane.
Yeah, Randall.
This is more of a question than anything, but it made me think. And when you said that the 14 or 13 families, they have a 14th seat. Isn't there? I can't remember if this is just Talmudic or if it's just Judaism or not. But don't they leave an empty seat for Elijah or Elijah?
Don't they say the name? Say it again, Randall. Don't they?
Yes, those who practice that type of before, yes, there's supposed to be a cup and for Elijah, Eliyahu. And then we sing it where there's a song that was, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishvi. And then he's supposed to come in.
Wow.
There's a connection to the empty 14th seat and the chair for Elijah.
Wow, amazing. Isn't it amazing, eh? It really is. No, it's the rituals they go through would blow our minds. It really would. What they believe and what, to me personally, what power they do get. Okay, evil power, not the type of power that we're interested in. Just through the rituals they do. It's non-stop. That's why everything we see on every movie in Hollywood it's not entertainment. It's not about making money. Okay, Jess and I owned a movie channel with 5,000 movies, and we just gave it up. Okay, it's got nothing to do with entertainment. It's got to do with performing satanic rituals. It's got to do about predictive programming and releasing residual magic to the people, to socially engineer them, to mind control them, and to release demonic powers into the world. That's what it's all about. That's why we're only seeing a certain genre of films for the past 20 years. X-Men, Marvel, DC. They're all watchers. They're all fallen angels. Great work, guys. Great input.
Wonderful.
Okay. Really great input.
Just remember to pray for Randall. He's in hospital at the moment. ICU or a very hard department to be in, and he's been there for several weeks receiving treatment, so that he's doing it from his hospital bed and joining us today. It's just wonderful. We honor you. Thank you for that. Same as Heather Turner and Ingabard. We know your situation with your health. It's hard. We can see you're on your bed, Inga. And we appreciate you joining us and fellowshipping with us month by month. And so we pray for you. And all of you have so many health issues. I'm not singling any out, just to say that Randall has been in hospital and still is in hospital.
Will do. Yeah. And Bob, Michelle, really good to see you guys again. Yeah. Okay. I want to thank you for, you sit there so quietly and you take things in, take notes, and that's great. Thank you. Okay. And Frank and Paul, Charlene. Okay, and Lisa put up a great question there. Lisa, I agree what you just put up there on live chat too. Yeah. Jesse, you want to just take us out so we can release the people? It's been wonderful, guys. It's been wonderful sitting before you guys. Yeah. And I'm seeing Rick B looking really fit, and I mean that, Rick. Okay. And this is what matters to us. I see, guys concentrating, guys adding input. Okay. And it speaks volumes to us, to me personally. I want to really, really thank you. Like I always start with, and I forgot to start that way, you will never answer wrongly, no matter what you say, no matter what input you say. You'll never get from us, that's the wrong answer. Okay, you won't, because we're all here to grow, we're all here to learn. And it's just the tip of the iceberg, it really is. And the one thing we got to all try and gain is righteousness. That's it. That's the bottom line, righteousness. and recognize the evil dished out upon us and the evil coming. That's it, yeah? It ain't going back to normal. It ain't getting better. And just understand that starting in the 20s and straight after World War II, it was actually called by itself the Black Propaganda Network. And they never repented nor never altered from that word. The Black Propaganda Network, there always has been a Black Propaganda Network, and that's who the media are. Okay, they're here to do residual magic upon all of us, but not us. We have the Barak of wisdom within us. But the other people, no hope. No hope unless the blinds are taken off their eyes.
Yeah. Beautiful. Sandrea, just before I pray, what was it you wanted to say?
I just wanted to say that we are coming into as the feast of the weeks. Understand what that means and why is it connected to, the barley of the first fruit. We are coming into the wheat. We're coming into maturity because at the beginning, you notice he emptied us of unleavened. He emptied us. And as we move towards maturity is the wheat. And he will fill the wheat, okay, with leaven. But that leaven is coming from heaven. That's why it's called, when we say it's 50 is completeness, it's 7 times 7 equals 49. That's the physical of our faith has been tested. The one is supernatural. That's where he pours down. He pours down the completeness, full completeness, and that is 50. Okay, that's why many get that one confused. That's only Yah. That's Yah pouring down his total completeness of that 49.
Yeah.
Okay, so really study the Feast of Weeks, the Feast of Weeks. That's where we're at. It's going into maturity. He's given us a rehearsal. Every feast is a rehearsal to the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrea. Okay. Just before you pray, I want to say thanks to Frank. Okay. And Duncan from the Caymans. Goodness.
Yeah.
Vicky and Lily. Yeah.
Yeah, Lily, very precious, always joining. She's so busy with family and nursing. Really appreciate that, Lily Castro. And we will see you in September as well. Great to see Frank and Bean's face for the first time. Where's disappeared.
Yeah, and Bob message, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank
Heather?
you.
Okay.
Heather's going to share in a moment, but I just want to pray because I don't want people to be late for Dr. P.
Yep, of course
I just want to release you. When I look at you, I see through the lens of Yah, favor and honor, and him being so zealous to protect you all, that you are his chosen, that you are his called, that you are his protected. Why? Because you are righteous. And you must all recognize that, walk with that, and pick that up, because he has called you, he has appointed you, he has anointed you, not just for yourselves, but for the vicinity where you live, surroundings, and the nations that you touch, and your locality. And you are an empire, you are an ambassador. Even by your actions and your silence, your faith speaks, your resilience speaks when you stand against the grain and against everything that charges against you. So I just want to show you and tell you how much you are affirmed and called by him, by Yah, and that you have his presence that leads you, and that he loves you and he goes before you. You are sealed. And it's an honor for Shane and I, Eating Wild Honey, to meet with you at the moment, month by month, and just to see his hand upon your lives and his calling upon your lives. Mary, I can see that's just touching you, Mary and Randy, so personally. And I just, if we were all in heaven together right now, we would see his his hands, his anointing, his tears pouring over us all, hugging us and holding us tightly. That's how much we are affirmed, and that's how much we stay united and affirmed together in these times until that time. So I just want to release you and say how much we love you. We're always here by email. Please always know that you can contact us. Please, guys, those that need to go, because you've got less than 4 minutes to get through to Stephen, please be released to go. Okay.
And just very quickly, guys, I just want to say, Bob, Michelle, and Beck and Kurt, there's a real maturity over you. I can see inside your ark, and there's such a maturity. I just hear that whispering voice to me saying such maturity over you four. So keep on keeping on.
Yeah, absolutely. Even James and Maribel saying.
Okay, guys.
Bye-bye. Take care, those who have to go.
It's fantastic being with you guys. Thank you so much. Lisa, thank you. Yeah.
Heather, what was it you wanted to share or ask?
I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
It's been a real blessing to be a part of a fellowship and just to see people and learn. And so I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
Beautiful.
We're so welcome here, Heather. Heather Turner, your beautiful yellow car. You're so welcome here.
You are. Know that you can trust these people, that we are all here for you.
And David waxed stronger and stronger, Heather, when the spirit of Yahuah came upon him, 1 Samuel 16. And David waxed stronger and stronger when the oil of Samuel was poured upon his head.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to release you. You look, even as the screen's getting bigger as people are going, you look even more beautiful. So,
see you guys. Yeah, Beck's here. Good.
Take care.
Duncan
Mary,
from the Caymans.
Reading,
Goodness. Duncan from the Caymans. Goodness. Rick B.
Shabbat shalom.
Mary, Randy, yeah. Mary Irving.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Okay.
Bye. Shabbat
Reese,
shalom.
Bye.
Barry, Vicar, Victoria, Debbie.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Jeanette, see you, girl.
Bye.
Lily, see you, Lily Mae.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Nice to hear your voice, Andrea.
Okay.
Take care, guys. Bye, Laura Lee. Reese.
See you, Laura.
Eva.
See you, Reese. We will pray for your son, Laura. Yeah. You want to pray for
all the
Laura
time.
before she goes?
I'm always praying. Laura,
Okay.
just hold your son, that this will be like the pit of Joseph. It won't be one that is going to be hard for him, but he will be confronted to find Yahuah, to repent, to come to a place where he will truly find him and not go away from his calling, but step into his calling, come into a place of repentance and come into a place of seeing Yah's hand go before him and bring him from the pit of destruction and go before him, because he has come before Yah and recognize what needs to change, what needs to stop, and Yah will show his hand of justice, show his hand of reproof, and show his hand of change for those that truly come and recognize where they need to step up for kingdom's sake and to bring their life into alignment. So every tear that you have shed over your son, every prayer, we bring them as memorial prayers to Yahuah right now, for it is such a time as this that they will come into effect and he will be let out of that prison. The sentence will be broken. The walls will be shattered. You will do a miracle in this situation, even with the FBI being involved, in your precious and mighty name. Amen.
Yeah.
Reese, thank you so much for joining. I know you had sound problems, so thank you for your persistence here from the beginning to the very end.
Do you have sound problems?
I believe so.
Sorry,
You
Reese.
joined
Okay.
really early, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, good work, mate.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to turn this off. Take care.
See you guys.
Shay.
Two people laughed. Two people cried. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
blind man cross the road, trying to make the other side. Ever seen a young girl growing old, trying to make herself a bride? So what becomes of you, my love?
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Pray that he's still out there.